Hey everyone! So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different on my channel. I'm going to be showing you how I refinished this piece of furniture behind me. It is a makeup desk that my sister got for me. She works at Paul Mitchell and they were selling their old ones so they could get some new ones, and of course I said I wanted one because I have been doing my makeup on the floor for about a year now. So yeah, I'm going to be showing you how to do that. I did struggle with it quite a bit and it took me a long time. I actually started this project like a month ago, but you know, it's kind of like a learn as I went type of thing, and like I said, we had to order some special things for it that didn't exactly come in quickly. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I finished it, so hopefully you can take some tips and tricks from me so it won't take you as long as that took me. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into it.
Okay, so first here's a list of supplies you'll need. These supplies are pretty basic and can be used for finishing any wood furniture that you have. So first we're going to need some safety glasses. Now this is so that the sawdust doesn't get in our eyes when we start the sanding process. And then next we're going to need an electric sander. I just borrowed mine from Nathan's parents because they can get pretty expensive. And then we're going to need some sandpaper to go on that electric sander, and you're going to want 60 grit and 120 grit. The 60 grit is really rough, it's for getting the gloss and the paint off, and then the 120 grit is to make it really smooth and finished looking. Next we're going to need multiple paint brushes. Now I put 2 to 3 because you're going to need one for your paint and gloss, and then you're going to need one for your primer. And if you're using an oil-based primer like I am, it's going to ruin your brush unless you know how to clean it out, and it can take a lot of supplies and time, which I didn't have. So I just bought a cheap brush for my primer so that I could throw it away afterwards. And then next, obviously, you're going to need your primer for that brush, and I just used the Kills Original Primer. And then you're going to need some paint. You can choose any color you like. Just make sure that it's an indoor latex paint that is at least a semi-gloss, because if you try and use a matte one, it's going to be really hard to clean and it's going to show every single bump and fingerprint. Next, you're going to need a screwdriver, painter's tape, and then some of the things that you can't see on the picture that I did end up using were pliers, paper towels or a microfiber cloth, and a gloss sealing finish. Now, all of these items I felt like were household items and or really cheap to get, so I just got most of them at my local Walmart or borrowed them from Nathan's parents. And if you're interested, I'll leave a link down below in the description box so you can see exactly what I got. Now put on your safety glasses. Then you're going to remove all the hardware from your furniture. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just cleaning it out. Now remember, this was an old desk from Paul Mitchell, so it was really disgusting and there was hair everywhere. So it took me quite a long time, but you are going to make sure that your piece of furniture is really, really clean and wiped down and just really, really ready, because if it's dirty, then it's just going to make it 10 times harder, and then you're going to clean it afterwards and you may ruin the paint and all those things. So just make sure you clean it really, really well. Okay, so now I'm starting to sand. Now for the first part, you're going to want to use that 60 grit sandpaper because it's going to get all the paint off and all of the old gloss off that was on there, because if you don't take that off, you're not going to be able to paint it. So yeah, I'm just sanding with the 60 grit sandpaper, and we're just going to keep going until we get most of the paint off. Okay, so now I have switched my sandpaper to the 120 grit. Now this time you're going to do all of the fine little detail work and trying to get all the old gloss and paint off. As you can see, I left some of the paint on before, but now I'm really trying to get most of it. And this is going to make our surface really, really smooth so I can get ready for some primer. Okay, so next what I'm doing here is I am covering all the surface that I don't want paint to get on with that blue painter's tape. Now, I'm sure you can see that when they first painted it, they weren't very careful, but I'm gonna try and be as careful as I can to not get paint on anything except for the wood parts. And I'm even gonna also cover the little wheels that the drawers glide on so that they don't get paint on them and they don't get crusty either. Okay, so now that we got all of our tape on, we're gonna start with the primer. Now, I didn't have a paint stick, so as you can see, I was just stirring it with my paintbrush. It was a cheap brush, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're just gonna get a generous amount of our primer and then just start painting it on as if you were painting on regular paint. Okay, so now we are on day 2. Now I have put on a second coat of the primer. You're gonna wanna let it dry for as long as it says on the can. And then after you put your second coat on and it dries, you can see me here, I'm sanding it all back down. And then this is gonna give us a really, really smooth finish if we sand between each coat. And then I'm opening up my paint can and we're gonna start painting over that primer. Now you're gonna wanna make sure that you're using long brush strokes that are all going in the same direction, and you're going to want to make sure and watch the corners of the furniture really carefully so that there's no drips or bubbles. We are going to sand between each paint coat, but you just want to make sure to give yourself a little bit less work to just take care of it right when it happens so you don't have to sit there and sand every drip and every single bubble. And if you paint all in the same direction, it's going to look really, really nice and you won't have to use a roller. Okay, so now we are on day 3. I've put on 3 coats of paint and sanded between each one with the fine grit sandpaper. And now we're using our clean brush to put on some gloss finish. Now this is gonna really help your paint stay longer. It's gonna help it be easier to clean. It's just gonna make it so much better and so much more professional looking. So I'm gonna put this coat on and then I'm gonna put a second coat on, and make sure to read the can so you know how long to let it dry between coats so that you don't accidentally mess everything up and have to start over again. You're also going to want to paint this just like you're using the paint, so you're going to want to use long brush strokes and all in the same direction, and make sure to watch for drips and bubbles because this can also become a mess and a disaster if you're not careful. So here is the finished product. That is the before and after picture. I'm so excited to use it. I think it turned out really, really well and turned out really cute. Just so you know, I did change out the legs. Those gold ones are just way too weak. They were gonna snap and break my legs. So I just went on IKEA and I got some white metal legs, and I will leave a link in the description box below so you can find them as well. They're really awesome. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. I absolutely love it, and I'm so excited to finally get to use it.
Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If there's anything that you'd like to share with me, or maybe any tips and tricks of your own that you've learned, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and I would be more than excited to, get some new information. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later. Bye!